Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and Lens back again with another video. First of all, before we start everything, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow. The watch hours are really good. I'm loving that, but the subscribers are just not coming along. Please subscribe to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about something different again. I'm going to talk about something that has to do with film photography as well as digital photography. I'm going to be talking about dehancer. And by the way, that's a very good segue to say that this video is sponsored by dehancer. I've been provided the software for free eternally to use for comparison as well as for promotion, obviously. And I have an affiliate code for you in the description below. Use code OUNCE for 10% at checkout on all dehancer products, all of them. You guys know dehancer has plugins for DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere, as well as Final Cut. So one of the best color grading software for me, hands down. So what I decided to do today is try to compare all of the Fuji profile or simulation that's built in on the cameras to what their interpretations when it comes to dehancer. And we all know that dehancer is very accurate in terms of interpretation, in terms of colors. And because we are using digital, it's even easier to tweak some aspect of the look that you have in your photos, that try to make it as close to what it's supposed to look like as possible, especially if you're shooting with the film stock, if you're shooting with film. We all know that shooting film is getting more and more expensive, and dehancer is just, I think, one way that you can really beat that price and save yourself some money and not necessarily have to carry a camera and be limited by all the limitation of film. The aesthetic is good, but we can get away around with that. So I have taken this photo, it's in color now, and I've processed it on Photoshop on Camera Raw with only the profile. So that's the only thing I changed. I obviously adjusted the white. I didn't even adjust the white balance. I only adjusted the exposure here and there to just balance it properly. Didn't do any color grading. I just used the profile to color grade the photo literally. So the first profile I used was across. This is the across that you can see on Fuji. It just looks like a black and white photo. That's pretty much it. And the one on dehancer, obviously dehancer gives you the advantage of adding things like elevation, blooms, and grain, which you can also add on Camera Raw. You can add, I think, only grain. You can't add elevation as well as bloom. So that's one app for dehancer. But I think this is very subjective. But if you want to go into like something that looks more like film, I think dehancer really takes the caps here, because you can see it looks black and white, but you still have those green undertone like in your darkest part of the image, in your shadows, which is something that I really like a lot, especially for this black and white. I think it looks good. And one profile that's I also compared was the Velvia profile. So on dehancer you have two Velvia. You have Velvia 50 as well as Velvia 100. So I'm just going to open the Velvia that we see, which is like a Fuji Velvia Vivid. It's the color profile of the image. So it just looks like a color photo, oversaturated. That's one thing that I never really like when I shoot Velvia, especially on my Fuji. I always feel like it's very oversaturated. But I have to point something regarding the Velvia 50 profile on dehancer is I got this artifact in the blues, and I've been getting this artifact only in the blue colors, especially with this profile. So this is something that I'm pointing out for dehancer. I don't know if it's personally my copy. I tried editing the picture as a smart object on Photoshop, and as well as just a rasterized JPEG photo on Photoshop. I don't know if I'll have the same issue on Lightroom. I haven't tried it on Lightroom. I have the license for Lightroom as well as Photoshop plugin. But you can see one thing about the color listed here. You know, as I said, as I mentioned before, I kept elevation as well as bloom on the photo. So, but the color looks a little bit more filmic, if I have to say that. You can definitely see on the profile, just the profile, the Velvia profile on the Fuji, that it's not really, would I dare say giving. I would say rather it's not really something that I kind of appreciate a lot. I like those subtle colors, especially in this Velvia, in the, I think in the mid-tone as well as the highlight, mostly like the mid-tone. You have that sort of magenta, filmic magenta. Here it's green. I don't like that cast. You can feel the color cast there. So that's your Velvia there. One profile that you can also find on dehancer, that you can find obviously as a Fuji profile, is the Velvia again 100. This is Velvia 100, which has a bit more closer color to the Fuji Velvia, which you can definitely kind of see here. So this is very vivid, but obviously the dehancer one looks a little bit more filmic again, but unfortunately I still have this artifact in the blue color, so I do not know what happens there. That is something that, yeah, maybe I'll email dehancer and just let them know. So maybe there is an error somewhere and they might have to fix and work on that. So let's try one other profile that I think we can find at Fuji Color Pro, which I think compares a little bit more to Provia. Yeah, they're very similar in terms of color. Obviously, as you are using digital, I believe we can push those color very much darker. But as you can see, again, we have this artifact now. We have it in the blue as well as the black. So this red color that you see here, this is from dehancer. Still, this is something I don't understand. It happens on some of the photo, but in some others it doesn't happen. Some of the profile it doesn't happen as well. I don't particularly use a lot of the Fuji profile on dehancer. I mostly use the one for the Kodak profile. I love Kodak portrait colors for my editing and my color grading. So we'll just go through some of the profile. For example, Classic Chrome is one profile that I like a lot, but they don't have it on dehancer. This is what it looks like. Classic Chrome just straight out of pretty much kind of straight out of camera, and profile slapped on the photo. And across, I already spoken about it. We have monochrome, which I don't use much. You have Provia standard, which is sort of a muted color as well, profile. And you have Pro Neg High, which is not so much different. And you have as well as Pro Neg Standard. So Pro Neg High and Pro Neg Standard is just a lot about contrast and saturation, which are the differences. We'll go through some of the Fuji profile that you can find on dehancer. We have Fuji Color 100, which is, I don't know, I have this artifact in the black as well as the blues. I don't know what happened there. And the Fuji Color Across is one really I like a lot. It's the Across Nepan. We have the Fuji Color C200. I also like that in terms of just like the filmic look. And you have Fuji Eternal, which is very popular. Unfortunately, I don't have the newest Fuji. I wish I could actually do this comparison with some of the photos I've taken with the X100V. I will do that and try to really push the photos, like make it look as filmic as possible in camera raw, and try to apply some of the Fuji profile. That's another comparison to come. Please subscribe for something like that as well. I like the Instax looks a lot, and the Instax looks is one of the look that doesn't really give me any artifact in any of the shadow or any other color. I just love the Instax looks a lot. It looks very modern as well. I think it's just because we get used to Instax photo. I have this Fuji Pro 400. I think that's based on the Provia, and then we have Fuji Velvia, which I've spoken about, the 50 and the 100. I have the artifact on the 100, not on the 50. Don't know why. And I have the Velvia F, which also gives me artifact in the blue. And that's pretty much it. These are some of the Fuji profile that you find on dehancer. So which one is your favorite? Personally, I do like the Instax one. I feel like it really mimics films the closest, and I'm just a big fan of that. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one, and peace out.